Hey guys, I'm the Coaster Keat, and welcome back to the Week in Review. Now, it's been a fairly long time since we've done one of these. Everything's just been kind of crazy, trying to get kind of back into the swing of things, and I kind of felt like the few videos that I did kind of describing the life with the coronavirus at the dorm kind of served as the little Week in Review. That being said, I do have a compilation of videos that I still need to edit from the very last days that I was in the dorm, so you guys can go ahead and look forward to that coming next week, because next week is going to be when I finally get a ton of editing done. I have several videos, both with my friends, the videos that I shot myself, both in the dorm and a little bit outside the dorm when I had to go into the lab and pick up my stuff. I ended up doing a little bit of a rounds around campus, so I have all of the material to make a video about what campus is like, and probably what campus was like, and now it's even more desolate due to the whole COVID-19 situation. So all of those videos are coming up soon, but all of that being said, the Week in Review is going to return on Sundays because I like connecting to you guys, and it's nice to have a day where I know that I'm not going to have to edit the video like super heavily, because the AI Dungeon videos and the other videos that I do require at least an hour of editing, sometimes 2 hours, 3 hours. It really depends on the length of the video, how picky I'm being about how much pause there's going to be in the video, etc., etc. So it's a whole process, not to mention figuring out which shot I'm going to use for the thumbnail and all of that crazy stuff. But anyways, that's all just logistical stuff. You do not need to worry about that. Today, I just wanted to talk about how my week went. The first week without any COVID-related moving, so the very first normal week that I've kind of had in this whole setup. So, my week, I guess we'll start on Monday. Monday was a good day. It was just, it was a pretty relaxed day. I got a little bit of stuff done, but I also mostly helped out my dad with some yard work, all in preparation for the 3 busy days that I have, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which me and my dad have gone ahead and blocked off as kind of my days, and those are the days where we've agreed that I work on my stuff, and then if I have free time, I go out and I seek social interaction, and then we go ahead and watch a musical or whatever. So on Tuesday, we had that sort of situation where I sat down, did my work, and then we went ahead and just watched some silly videos online. Wednesday was a lot more stressful of a day because Wednesday was my bioethics exam. And for my bioethics class, I love my bioethics class. I love it so, so much. But I am also not an avid reader. And even if it's on a topic that I love, forcing myself to sit down and read every word of an article is difficult. And I always have to read it out loud, because if I try to read it in my head, I might get the gist of it, but I won't understand any of the real content of it. And so Wednesday really consisted of me just struggling to get through a ton of videos, a ton of papers, a ton of material, all related to bioethics, and just trying to digest what was essentially 4 weeks worth of material in a day, which never goes well. And even though I had seen a lot of it before, it was still just way too much to try and cram in that short amount of time, and my results on the test suffered from it. The multiple choice went absolutely terribly. It was the first test that I got below average on in college, which I know, big whoop. All of you back home are probably like, Rachel's just complaining about random stuff again, but trust me that it was a big deal to me, and I'm still waiting for the free response to be graded, but I know I did better on that, so hopefully my end result will be semi-decent, but it was definitely enough to stress me out that day of that exam, and then even after the exam, the stress of all of that just mounted, because it was like, wow, I really am a failure or whatever. So not exactly the healthiest headspace to be in going into Thursday. And then Thursday, I had more classes, but I also had a ton of stuff that I knew was going to be due on Friday. So a rational person, upon seeing that they have a million things due Friday on Thursday, would be like, okay, I'm going to knock out some of these things today, and then I'll deal with the rest tomorrow, and that way it'll be a little bit more manageable. I am not a logical person. I was like, I deserve this rest. I had a stressful day on Wednesday. I am going to just relax and not do anything. And so I proceeded to do that for a while until I started feeling guilty about relaxing so much. And so then I went and did and helped my dad out with some of the things that we needed to do, because you know that whole thing that I said where you want to be productive, but you don't want to be productive in what you really need to do? That's exactly what working with my dad feeds into that, because I'm like, hey, I can go make myself feel good, and I know I'm contributing and making a difference. I'm just not doing the thing that I really, really need to do. So I went and did that on Thursday, and it was great, and I felt great about myself. And then I woke up on Friday, and I was like, oh, God. And I just wrote down everything. I started going through it, and the more that I went through it and, checked off the boxes of the things that I went through, the more manageable it seemed. I have to say, checklists are your best friend if you have an insurmountable task in front of you, because the satisfaction of just checking off thing by thing by thing is just so great compared to the very minimal effort it makes to make such a list. So I ended up getting through almost everything, with the exception of this stupid lab thing, because we're still having lab in COVID-19, people, and it is stupid, because not only are we not actually doing the lab thing, but we are supposed to teach it all to ourselves, which sounds like, oh yeah, it's a lab, you kind of do that anyway. But no, because at the U of A, and I don't know if this is how things work everywhere, we usually have a little lecture by the TA, and by little, I mean anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour. Lecture by the TA on whatever we are talking about, and that's what sets us up for all of the work that we do in the lab. So what happens when you take away the lecture? Well, you don't understand things if you're me, and when it's a very complicated concept that we've kind of glazed over a few times before, but now it's like, okay, you've matched these things together, now just create the thing. And you're just like, what? What is my life? What is this? What is life? I don't understand. And so I spent so long just being like, I don't know how to do this. Probably an hour just trying to look up videos and trying to figure stuff out and just being lost, because even the internet's like, wow, this is a stupid question. You're not supposed to just be thrown into this. And so I was just sitting here lost, and then I was able to contact one of my friends from water polo at the U of A. They had told me in the past, hey, if you ever need help in OChem, I'm pretty good at it. And so they helped to clarify a lot of things for me. And I managed to get the worksheet kinda sorta done, but not in any way that I am confident in, not in any way that I actually really understand what I'm doing, which makes me absolutely terrified, because if we are going forward with the assumption that I understand all of this, that's just not good. I know I don't, and the world knows I don't, so I'm just gonna try and look for the TA's office hours and just email them like crazy and just try to understand this, because it makes zero sense. And if there's one thing that I've learned from OChem, it's that when you have something that makes zero sense, you really do need to tackle it immediately, because if you don't, and if you're me, then the more that you don't tackle it, the more it's going to get built up on, and the more frustrated you're going to get with yourself, because you will not understand anything that's going on, and that is not a fun feeling. But anyways, that was my Friday. Saturday was a lot more laid back. Again, helping in the yard, helping in the house, helping everywhere. doing some of the things I needed to do. Oh, I also had a D&D session on Friday, which was one of the major things that was, like, stressing me out, is not only did I have all of these homework assignments due at midnight, but I had a commitment to my friends that was also due, and that one was at 7. So that was super stressful as well. So in comparison, Saturday was a lot better because I didn't have a million things due at midnight. I didn't have a D&D session to plan for. It was all just smooth sailing. And then came today. Today was kind of a similar situation. I finally started working out again, which is great because I had a long period where I was just like, meh. But now, hopefully, I'll be able to keep it up. But I also did more yard work, and just did my homework, and now I'm making this video. The one problem that I am going to have, and that is kind of lurking over my head right now even as I talk, is I have an essay rough draft that is due tomorrow at midnight. And that is a fun thing that I have hanging over my head because it got postponed, and I knew that when it got postponed that I was going to procrastinate, and I did, and now I'm here, and now I'm like, oh great, that's coming up. So I get to write a 5-page essay, research essay, in a day, and that's going to be fun for tomorrow. But anyways, that was my week. If you are still here, thank you so much for taking an interest in my life and for being here. And just thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all are doing as well as you can with the whole crisis. And more than anything, I hope that you all soar high and enjoy your ride of life. Bye!